almost coming back. What we are not absolutely organic in the way we treat our vines, because there is one major disease which is not for the actually for the oidium and the mildew. So it can really do severe damage in the vineyard. The only element that is allowed by the organic organizations is copper, a copper sulfite solution. Problem is, copper does not disintegrate. It does not break down in the soil. It accumulates. It ends up being rather bad for the vines. So we are using a synthetic chemical that is biodegradable, so it breaks down. And until we find a biodegradable combination that is allowed by organics, we will not be considered an organic. But obviously, and the reason why I brought you out here in the vineyards is that we consider that 90%, if not more, of what makes Petrus Petrus, it's out here that it happens. We'll have a quick look through the cellar. We cannot go really into the cellar because, as you know, we are vinifying. So you'll see there are pipelines everywhere. But first thing I want to show you is that I don't know if you've realized that you have climbed about 5 meters from the bottom of the road to here. I hope you're not lacking any oxygen. No? Everybody okay?
Yeah.
Okay. We're at the highest altitude. At the top of the hill, we're at the highest altitude of all of the Pomerol appellation. We're at 40 meters above sea level. Now, we are on a little hill between the road and the top of the hill. There's about 5 meters difference. Now, it might not seem like much, but it is absolutely essential to understand Petrus, because this hill, which goes, our neighbors, so the hill goes to Vieux Chateau Certain, to La Conseillante over there, l'Evangile, and Gazin. It's not a pure circle, but it's like an oval. And this hill is of totally different soil than just across the street. Across the street you have a magnificent Pomerol, which is Chateau La Fleur, but the soil there is very deep gravel. Here we have a soil of clay. Now what happened is, we don't know exactly what caused it, but we have this hill of clay. It's clay that has been dated back to 40 million years old.
Oh, wow.
So we find it in the subsoil pretty much everywhere in Bordeaux. Now, you know, the Aquitaine Basin used to just be the ocean floor. So we have this clay. For some reason, it came and something must have squeezed it so that it formed this little hill. It's the only area in Bordeaux, and as far as we know, in the world, where we have 100% of the vines on the soil of clay. Okay, so the first thing to understand is this hill. Now, the name Petrus, in fact, comes from the name of the hill, because stone in Latin, because when the Romans arrived 2,000 years ago, they brought their vines with them. In fact, in order for the Roman soldiers to stay rather than go back to Italy, they were given land and they planted vines. And they didn't plant anything on this hill because it was considered the hill of stone. As you know, clay, when it's full of water, it can be formed, it can be shaped, and it's put in the oven, or it stays out in the hill, and it becomes as hard as rock or stone. Therefore, this hill was called Petrus because in the summer it was impossible with oxen or horses. It was impossible to till the soil. Therefore, it was impossible to grow any type of crops. Most of the fields, most of the land was used for building for flour, for producing flour, bread.